So what we got going on today is we are transporting the rails that are in these boxes for the portable sawmill. In case you're not familiar, a portable sawmill is a big bandsaw. You know, a bandsaw is usually in a shop and it runs on a belt, basically. That's where the idea of the band comes from, that has the saw teeth on it. And it allows you, and it has two big wheels on either end of the saw blade and a plate that you'll cut your wood out on it. It gives you a lot of mobility in terms of the type cut you can make on it. What they have done, which is a great idea, and I think Wood Miser actually pioneered this concept, is that you take that bandsaw and you lay it down 90 degrees to the left and take rails and run it underneath it. You take that bandsaw and you put it in a housing that supports it, and then on the bottom of that housing there's two legs that come out with little rollers on it, and then you lay down tracks like railroad tracks. You take that whole assembly and set it on the tracks, and then you can take a big piece of lumber and lay that lumber on the tracks, and then you run the bandsaw along it, and the blade will cut slices of it as it traverses the length of the timber. And then you pull it back, and then you can rotate it, and then you got a square side, and then you cut another piece, and then you've got two perpendicular square sides, and then you can keep doing it and make squares. And you can cut veneer, you know, very thin 1/16 inch pieces, sheets, or you can cut a great big old honkin', you know, whatever size piece of timber that your bandsaw will allow in terms of its throat. So that's all to say, I need to get these rails, and I've got 6 of them down to the property and back to the tent to get the bandsaw set up. But my good old friend the mud and the weather is not on my side, so what I'm gonna have to do is just incorporate some Egyptian technology, as we like to call it, and incorporate some manual labor to get the rails all the way back to the site. So what I'm doing now is that the boxes that they ship these rails in are pretty flimsy, and these rails, I mean, I want to say they weigh 100 pounds probably. I mean, they're pretty robust, rugged steel, because you're putting big logs on them, so they got to be hefty. Anyway, they tear these boxes up, and this one's actually in pretty good shape. So what I'm going to show you here is I'm just wrapping them with some of this real lightweight U-line packing tape. I mean, it's thin, and just doing a wrap on those, basically doing a shrink wrap. And it's amazing how much shrink wrap or thin tape can actually contain. Once these get spiraled and contained, they're pretty stable. And then my plan is to take these down to the property, and I'll have a follow-on video about that, and get them unloaded. And I'm going to disassemble the axle and wheels from my wheelbarrow and strap them onto the bottom. So I'll have a triangle like this, and at the bottom I'll strap my wheelbarrow wheels, and then at the top end up here I'll rig up a way to lash that to my waist, and then I'm just gonna trundle on back with that. And the idea is that the bigger wheels that are pneumatics from my wheelbarrow won't dig into the ruts and the mud as we go back there to the property to get them set up. That's the theory, and we'll see if that plays out. So I'm going to do a little wrapping here so you can see what's going on there, and after that I'll see you at the property. All right, so here we are walking back from the tent with my wheels from the wheelbarrow, my toolkit that I needed to take the wheels off, that I had to make a return trip for back to the Jeep. It's all the way out there, you can see, because I needed an adjustable wrench. And I didn't pay attention to the little voice inside my head when I was unloading the Jeep with what I thought I needed. And I thought, all I need is a socket set. They'll do anything, right? No, because the bolts that were holding the axle onto the wheelbarrow were longer than the dwell of the sockets. So when I get to the Jeep, you can see it there, it'll be 3 miles that we've traversed before we've even started the actual work for the day. Forethought. It's a beautiful thing. Need to start paying more attention to it. Anybody see a rest stop? So here is my Sawmill rail transport system, a la wheelbarrow and ratchet straps and a little bit of poplar that I had to cut down the other day to clear a tree that had blown across our drive here. It's not bad. It's not easy, but it definitely beats paying a gym membership. I'll give it that. So that's number 1. 5 more to go. Yeah, buddy.